Hey guys, oh damn, another Attack on Titan video. Yes, we are going all out before this season ends. This time around we'll be talking about the Ackerman family and their bloodline within the Attack on Titan series. I'm going to discuss who they are, what they are and why they are. Okay, wait, the last one didn't make sense, but you get my point. We're basically going to go balls deep into the Ackerman clan and explain why Levi and Mikasa are so strong. But before I begin, here is a quick reminder from our partners Anime REAL. If you guys want awesome anime apparels from hoodies, sweatshirts and t-shirts, or even cool accessories like anime phone cases, then make sure to check out animereal.com and use the code ABDSquad to get yourself a 10% discount on everything. This will be helping us out and you guys will be getting yourself some cool merchandise. With that, let's cue the intro. If it wasn't obvious, this video will contain spoilers and possibly might ruin your shock or fun in finding out the lore from the anime itself. But like I mentioned in the last Attack on Titan video, please don't let that stop you. If you're here for clarification and a clear breakdown, then you're in the right place. Another thing I want to point out is that a lot of the information I'm going to give will make more sense if you watched our previous video on the basement reveal and the revelation of the truth. But with that spoiler warning out the way, let's dive right into this. To explain who the Ackerman clan or family are, let's go back to what we know of the people within the Attack on Titan series. Currently, we are given the fact that the humans are split into two type of groups. One set of being who are subjects of the first Titan shifter Ymir Fritz. Her subjects are those who either descended from her or the people who followed her, forming their community at that time. They are called Eldians, and let's call every other humans non-Eldians for practicality's sake, and they aren't really important at this point. But these non-Eldians are pretty much normal human beings. These non-Eldians would be the people of Mare, the Asian clan, and any other people from other nations. The key difference between them and the Eldians is that the Eldians are the subjects of Ymir, and every single one of them has the power of turning into a Titan once they are given some sort of trigger. For instance, the command of the founding Titan, or simply being injected with Titan spinal fluid. Every Eldian can also be controlled by the founding Titan if owned by an Eldian of royal blood, meaning being a direct descendant of Ymir. And what I mean by control is that with the founding Titan scream, Eldians can be transformed into Titans, even colossal Titans. The founding Titan can even decide what type of Titan they need and make that type of Titan, ultimately having the command over them. With that, the founding Titans can even manipulate memories of their Eldian subjects by just simply erasing it. With all of that said, let's go into the Ackerman family. Who are they? Well, the Ackermans were Eldians who lived in Eldia more than a century ago. Eldia at that time was vast and had a lot of colonies under it. However, after the collapse of the Eldian Empire during the Great Titan War, which happened a century ago, the members of the Ackerman family moved within the walls in Paradise Island along with most of the other Eldian people. But their roots and bloodline originated from the golden period of the Eldian Empire reign before the Great Titan War. The Empire was advanced in the understanding of Titan science to the point where they would do experiments to either improve their knowledge or test their limits. However, the Empire, like most powerhouse, would use these experiments to also gain and secure the position in the world, which to be fair is quite similar to how our own current world works, where developed nations would race in producing the next best arms and technology. In the case of Eldia, to create a royal guard for the king and act as the monarch's right hand, the Ackerman bloodline was created. Apparently, it was due to an accidental result of these experiments, but either way, the results was apparent. Eldia had created superhumans. I'll explain the powers and full scope of abilities in a bit. But you lot are probably wondering, like, how were they actually made? Was it some test tube baby experiment, some genetic engineering, or some Captain America thing? Like, what was it? Well, not much is known yet about how the actual experiment was done. Hopefully, Isayama will explore this in more detail very soon, but I'm pretty sure it was a mix between all of them. In regards to who were the Ackermans before this experiment, well, it's speculated that the first Ackerman had some sort of Eldian royal blood in him. Others suggest it was just a farmer, as the rough translation of the name Ackerman Ackerman is plowman, as Acker is the Germanic word for plowed field. But again, the first Eldin ever were probably farmers themselves, so Ackerman could be both royal descent and farmers. Moving forwards, for a while the Ackermans were held in high regards, being a bloodline of warriors that protected Aldir's king. However, after Karl Fritz, the Eldin king at that time, decided to separate Eldin people from the rest of the world, moving to an island and enclosing his people by walls made out of titans, caused a lot of controversy within the governance, and ultimately these preceding events changed the outcome and status for the Ackerman family and their descendants. And although the Ackermans were said to have followed into the enclosement of the walls, when King Karl used the founding titan powers to erase the citizens' memories along with the nobles, the Ackerman family and the Asian clan were among those who were immune to it. By the way, the Asian clan and possibly even some of the nobles was immune to the control of the founding titan because they aren't actually Eldians. If you lot want me to cover the Asian family and nobles in more detail, then smash that like button and let me know in the comment section below. Either way, both the Ackerman family and the Asian clan rejected the king's idea of peace and decided to turn their backs on the monarchy. Due to this, the king began to persecute them for the fear of rebellion, so he brought both races to the brink of extinction. I know guys, this sounds like some Uchiha history, but it's not. This actually happened in Attack on Titans. In the end, the head of the Ackerman clan wanted to ensure his bloodline was continued, so he offered to be executed in exchange for the overall survival of the Ackerman family. From then on, they kept information they had about life before the wall a secret from the future generations in order to save them from being eradicated. Although this didn't really stop their oppression, so some of them took refuge in underground cities while others fled to mountains. However, since a lot of the times the business was sabotaged, they remained impoverished. The pursuit to eradicate the Ackerman family finally ended when the new king at that time, who met with Kenny Ackerman during an assassination attempt. King Uri Reese apologized for the prior monarch's action against the Ackerman family and made Kenny his right-hand man, which ultimately established an ending of the persecution for the Ackerman family. Hopefully now you guys understand the history behind the Ackerman family and where they came from. With that, let's get into the actual ability and the question of what exactly is their power. Well, let's get into that. Firstly, not every Ackerman has this superhuman power. It has to be triggered to be unlocked, and I'll explain this trigger in a bit. But as described by Levi, when some members of the Ackerman clan have this awakened power, they gain the ability of knowing exactly what needs to be done, which can insinuate extremely god level battle instincts. This also plays a part to their insane agility and movement, as it's not that they are just quick due to muscle strength and endurance, it's also because of their bodies will move in the exact direction it needs to execute that will. There are so many cases of this when Levi or Mikasa maul through their enemies, making it look like child play. They're literally dancing in the sky. Just recently, the way that Levi took out the Beast Titan showed that no ordinary human would be able to do what he did. Now, along with superhuman agility and heightened senses, this power also allows them to exhibit physical ability far above an average human. We have to remember that the experiment which was done to create this possibility in a human utilized the genetics of Titans. Therefore, it is said that an Ackerman can manifest the power of the Titans without actually becoming one or inheriting any of the 9 Titans. Now, I know, some of you lot are probably doubting the fact that a human being in Attack on Titans can have the power and strength of a Titan in the body of a human. Well, here, let me give you some examples. When Mikasa awakened her power, she crushes the handle of a knife, breaks the floorboard with just a leap, and was able to thrust the knife through a man deep enough to kill him in one stab. All of that at the age of 9? That's superhuman strength even for a grown adult. There are many other countless moments where Mikasa displayed her strength, which shouts out the fact that she ain't a normal human. Like, look at her dashing Eren around with one hand. This is also shown with Levi and Kenny a lot of the times. So even though the saying of them having the power of the Titan in their small body sounds ridiculous, but if you think about it, it is possible, because right now we can definitely say they do have superhuman strength and ability. One other ability that they gain when their power is awakened is battle experience. Now, even though this is actually the explanation to their battle instincts, but it's also a power in it itself. When awakened, the Ackerman gain battle experience from every Ackerman before them via path. I'm going to explain what paths are in another video, but basically it's the same way that the Titan shifter gained memories from the previous owner of that Titan. The Ackerman also gain gain battle experience from the previous generation Ackerman. The best comparison of this would be Assassin's Creed's and its bleeding effect. This effectively makes the Ackermans the most skilled warriors within the whole Attack on Titan universe. Think about it, the Mali warriors like Reiner, Berthold, Annie and Zeke went through extensive training from a very young age, but when faced off against Mikasa, all of them got slapped up, and when Levi took down Zeke in his beast form and then chased him all the way back to Volmaria, Zeke understood that Levi is actually much more scarier than a Titan, which ultimately forced him to escape. Okay, so we established that the Ackerman bloodline gives this family the chance to become a super soldier, but let's really try to understand what it is that activates this power. To understand this, we have to once again try to understand the power of the founding Titan. So more or less, every abilities of theirs is a derivative of Titans to some sort of degree, which can be seen with the strength and even the bleeding effect. The founding Titan can also activate the genes in all Eldian people to become a Titan with just a scream or shout. It seems like this process is also similar to the activation of the Ackerman power. There are conditions, however. In order to activate the power, you need to first find a host and obey orders from that host when facing death. This allows the instincts found in Ackerman blood to protect the host to activate. We also have to remember that they were ultimately engineered to protect the king. Levi also spoke about how he and Kenny had similar moments that awakened their powers. So it seems like a command from anyone at that time during a life and death situation will assign them, the Ackerman, to that person as a host. Later in the manga, Eren claims that the awakened Ackerman is compelled to obey their host, and if they try to resist, they will experience headaches. However, Armin wonders if Eren was just only using Mikasa's headaches to reinforce his claims, as this idea of submission doesn't look so promising. Like, we have to think about Levi's relationship with Erwin, Kenny's relationship with Uri, and the overall interaction between Mikasa and Eren. In an interview, the creator Hajime Isayama stated that Mikasa, Levi, and Kenny are all part of the same Ackerman bloodline. However, it is in their nature to protect their individual counterparts and does not particularly have to do anything with a bloodline, which again contradicts what we read in chapter 112, as it turns out that bloodline is a major factor for the guardian-like nature. Although a lot of the times these things seems to be progressive revelation when it comes to these type of things in Attack on Titan. For example, Kenny Ackerman's grandfather told him that they are a minority bloodline, insinuating at that time that they are not related to the subjects of Ymir, which is the majority race within the walls. This would make sense as they are unaffected by the founding Titan power, unlike the subject of Ymir. However, later, according to Zeke, as mentioned, the Ackerman lineage is actually a result of experimentation done on the subject of Ymir, and the Ackerman clan are linked to each other via paths, and although it is limited, they have the ability to access the power of the Titan. This information itself seems to be hidden from Kenny and his grandfather, so even though to say that the Ackerman were in a submissive role would be a far-fetched, but it is possible that Eren isn't lying and the Ackerman are bonded to loyalty. However, at the moment these are just claims and potentially made for plot, and doesn't really represent the Ackerman as a whole. We also have to remember that the Ackermans rebelled against King Karl. If they were really submissive, this wouldn't even be possible. The last point I want to talk about is if an Ackerman can be a Titan shifter, as right now not much is known whether the Ackerman can turn into a Titan as of yet. However, in an interview, Isayama stated that if a child were to be born between two people from a royal family and the Ackerman clan, in regards to which blood would take precedence, he responded by saying, "I think that both of their blood would be reflected in the child. This could lead to the possibility that the child would have the Ackerman's awakened power and can become a Titan with royal blood, which would effectively allow them to activate the founding Titan and fully utilize the power of the Titan just like the members of the royal family." So from a hypothetical scenario, we can assume they can turn into Titans and become a Titan shifter, but again, we can't be too sure as the reasoning Isayama gave was pertaining to the fact that there was royal Eldian blood in the Ackerman child. Alright guys, I hope I answered all of your questions to the Ackerman family, and if I missed anything then make sure to put it down in the comment section below so we can start a discussion. Also, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe and ding that notification bell to stay updated. We have another Attack on Titan video coming out soon explaining how the Titan power works and what is paths, so make sure to stay tuned. Till then, I'll see you guys till next time.